Welcome to Wild Breakaway alongside Wes Walz and Tom Torski. I'm Audra Martin, and way more often than not, when it comes to home openers for the Minnesota Wild, they're going to walk away with a win. Tonight was no exception. It was a big 4-3 win over the visiting Winnipeg Jets. Tom, I'll start with you. When you see the team down 2-0 after the first, last year that would have been a death sentence. Tonight it wasn't an issue because of a huge second period.
Yeah, big difference tonight, coming back from being down 2-0. 2 late goals in the first period showed a lot of resiliency, a little bit more character than we've seen in the past when they've gone down. So they jumped back in the game. They pulled themselves up by the bootstraps, got physical, and came away in the second period with a lead.
And I said this after the St. Louis game the other night, 95% of the time in the National Hockey League, you get what you deserve. The Wild did not play well enough in St. Louis, although it was a one-goal game. They could have snuck a point out of that game. And tonight, the Wild played well enough. They deserved the 2 points. They were the faster team. They were the quicker team. They were the more resilient team. They deserved to win the game, and they did. Huge win for the Wild here tonight.
Well, here's a look at tonight's final stats. Shots in favor of the Minnesota Wild, 31-17 over the Jets. 1 for 4 on the power play tonight. Matt Dumba knocking in that first power play goal of the season. And the penalty kill, batting 1,000 so far, 3 for 3 tonight. Another good effort from them. The Minnesota Wild throwing their weight around. They win the hits battle tonight. And speaking of chemistry and what we're seeing from this team, we saw it in the first line tonight. And here's Bruce Boudreau talking about that chemistry between Eric Staal and Zach Parise.
Well, they both are north-south players. You know, they want to go. And they've had enough chances to each have 2 or 3 goals after 2 games. So that's a good sign, because you know, you keep getting chances, you're gonna eventually they're gonna go in.
Here's a look at what's next for the Minnesota Wild. A few days off, and Tuesday night they get back to work. We're going to start things off 6:30 right here on Fox Sports North as the Los Angeles Kings come to town. West, we know what they're capable of. What do the Wild need to do to make sure they keep the momentum going from tonight's win on home ice?
Well, the LA Kings, around the National Hockey League, they have one of the bigger teams in the NHL too. You look at the Winnipeg Jets tonight, a team that's really, really big. I thought the Wild skated them into the ice tonight. So it's going to need to be the same type of recipe, in a couple nights if they want to get past the LA Kings on Tuesday night.
Well, and the LA Kings are licking their wounds a little bit with Jonathan Quick going down. Their starting goalie is out. But that said, they come in with Anze Kopitar, who's now wearing the C. He's got to get his team turned around. They're down 0-2 after 2 games. And another guy they got to watch out for is Drew Doughty. So they've got a couple world-class players and a slew of other, secondary guys that are very strong hockey players. This team will come in looking to get their first win, so they'll be hungry.
Well, hopefully the magic of the XL Energy Center delivers once again like it did tonight. We look forward to seeing you Tuesday night again, 6:30 right here on Fox Sports North. In the meantime, for Wes Walz and Tom Torski, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on tonight's Wild Breakaway.